Hey, how y'all doing? This is your girl, Tysheen. How you feeling? I hope you're doing good. Why so many American homes are flimsy? I have thousands of reasons why. But let's just get straight to the video. And how you doing? Well, first of all, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. If not, tomorrow is a different day, okay? So, yeah. Anyway, let's get straight to the video.
You can hear conversations through the walls. Footsteps up the stairs. Banging pots in the kitchen when you're across the house.
Yep.
That's just life in most American homes. Walls are thin and the opposite of soundproof. And something always needs to be fixed.
Yep.
And most homes aren't even that old. There should be no excuse that they're falling apart. But why are they like this, especially when other areas have sturdy, thick houses that last hundreds and hundreds of years?
The answer isn't just capitalism, so don't click off the video just yet.
It's actually a lot more complex, and the solution isn't easy.
If you're looking for one quick thing to blame, you can look towards George Washington's snow.
In 1832, the civil engineer was tasked with building a Chicago warehouse as quickly as possible from the local softwood. So he got creative. Snow used 2x4s to assemble hollow walls, several stories high. The method let individual workers handle assembly, leaving only one person to nail it all into place.
One person.
Snow completed the warehouse in record time. The method was called balloon framing, and it became the construction method of choice in Chicago. But balloon framing didn't take off until the 1940s, when America was experiencing a post-war boom period. More Americans had money than ever before, and they wanted the American dream, a house. They could suddenly afford to buy homes in sprawling new suburbs, and contractors knew they could make a killing if they could produce enough homes to satisfy the demand. Balloon framing and its successor, platform framing, allowed contractors to frame houses basically overnight. But there was something unique about balloon framing that made it only feasible in certain countries, like the US and Canada, and not in Europe.
Balloon framing requires a massive quantity of long, mature trees.
And America had an abundance of super tall, mature trees. Plus, it was an easy and cheap construction material for the newly growing suburbs. Wood is sturdy, yet flexible enough to withstand low-intensity earthquakes and tornadoes. If you want to hear about all of wood's good qualities, check out our video on the subject here. In Europe, wood is still incredibly expensive because so few forests remain, and what they do have is heavily protected. So the average European home is built with brick, stone, or concrete, and they're many centuries old. These materials can be sturdier and safer than wood.
Of course.
A concrete masonry wall has a shocker.
I mean, who doesn't know that? The whole time I was watching the video, I'm thinking that. That's the only thing I'm thinking of, brick and stones.
Fire insulation property rating compared to a wooden frame wall. One of these concrete walls has a fire rating of around 4 hours till it's destroyed, as compared to a wooden framed wall, which only has a rating of around an hour. Insurance carriers also have long-term data suggesting that homes constructed of brick are less likely to be destroyed by natural hazards. And if saving money is your game, the
I didn't know that.
U.S. Department of Energy estimates that you could save $340 a month, or over $4,000 a year on heating and cooling if you live in a brick house over a wood one. It's estimated that losses from wildfires have added up to $5.1 billion over the past 10 years, a number made even more bloated by all the wood-framed houses.
Now, to be clear, wood isn't necessarily a bad building material.
I mean, take a look at the Fairbanks house in Dedham, Massachusetts. It's been standing since 1637. But in general, wood is harder to maintain. In fact, without maintenance, many houses won't make it to 30 years.
And to many Americans, that's just the right amount of time.
The US Census says that the average American moves houses 11 times in their lifetime. That figure across 16 European countries? About 4 times. Since Americans are constantly moving their homes, they don't need them to last as long. They expect a semi-new home wherever they go because with the increased owner turnover, regular maintenance isn't normally done. It's easier just to rip it down and start over fresh.
But why do Americans move around so much?
You can blame the job market. In America, it's much more common to hop around between companies. The opposite is true in the European Union. The World Bank report.
Or some people just want to move because they just want to move. They just, people here in America, it's not like back in the days where people just stay one place forever. Here in America, people do move around a lot, especially this generation. They're not staying in one place.
Reports that the median tenure of the average US employee was 4 years, while the median tenure in the EU was 10 years. Part of that culture of constantly shifting jobs is moving to a new area to take that job. Meaning you've got to move houses.
You got to move houses, yep.
So, short story, blame George Washington Snow. Long story, blame the shifting US job market.
Interestingly, we aren't the only country in the world to have famously flimsy houses.
We share that title with Japan, and they're actually worse than us.
What?
Houses in Japan depreciate like cars do in the US.
After 20 years, a Japanese house typically loses all of its value and is, on average, torn down just 30 years after being built. According to a paper by the Nomura Research Institute, it's
So this whole time, I'm always thinking it's just us Americans. That house that's, built flimsy. Wow.
major obstacle to affluence for Japanese
I didn't even know that.
The collective waste is approximately an annual loss of 4% of Japan's total GDP. The total amount of new houses built in Japan every year is on par with the United States, despite having only a third of its population, which is shrinking every year. 87% of Japan's home sales are new homes, compared to only 11 to 34% in Western countries. Part of the reason for this is that the Japanese love new things. They're frequent and
what's so crazy? I don't know if it's the new generation or maybe she's talking about it's been like this forever. Normally, like the older people, they normally like stay one place, and I always thought that back then the houses were more sturdy and stronger. I didn't even know that. They like new things. Is that true? If you're from Japan, I want to know if that's true.
Severe earthquakes make old houses, cheap wood frame houses from the same post-war boom we had, dangerous and without proper seismic reinforcement. It's considered futile to invest in their maintenance or try to improve them. That's especially reinforced, the Nomura Research Institute says, by concepts of impermanence in the Shinto religion. Take a look at Issei's Grand Shinto Shrine, a huge religious site that is rebuilt from scratch every 20 years.
Unfortunately, it's
every 20 years. This whole time, I watch videos, and I've seen videos, and I always thought that those shrines, whatever, I always thought that they was built like 100 years ago, and they never had to do anything. I mean, of course, every house you have to maintain it. She said every 20 years. It's crazy. I always thought that like they'll paint it, but wow.
Very expensive when you apply that same principle to houses.
Americans wanted cheap homes to fulfill their dreams of home ownership after World War II.
Right.
But the tricks that contractors used to make that happen have made it easy for us to view homes as disposable and unworthy of repair. But times could be changing. A recent trend that hasn't unseated wooden framing yet is modular or prefabricated homes. Modular homes are constructed in sections away from the building site and then put together.
I've seen videos like this before. This is supposed to be like this is like the easy, cheapest way to like build a house, because when I was young, I used to always see people like build a home, but it used to take like almost a year or two to build a fully finished building a home. But nowadays it's like they be finished within like a month. Your home is built already. I'm like, how? Why is it built so fast? We're here in New York. Everywhere you go here in New York, someone is always a house being built. Or building. There's always something being built here. I don't know if y'all seen the article about New York is sinking. We have so many buildings being built every friggin' day. No matter where you go, there's always a building being built here. And it's crazy how people are, and we're still building stuff here. It's crazy, but I don't know.
On the property. But they're actually framed with 8 to 10% more wood, so they're extra strong for transportation.
Look at this.
And are designed to be sturdier than regular homes.
Oh, it is.
Instead of nails and screws, walls are connected using joints and strong glues. It's a method that...
Strong glues? So the glue is stronger than the nail? How's that? I have a lot to learn. Because
become increasingly popular for making tiny homes, but hasn't managed to beat out balloon framing on the most important thing to contractors: price. Modular homes sell for less than regular homes, even though they can be slightly cheaper to make, so contractors avoid them in favor of more profit.
If Americans decided to stay put in one home and invest in it, that might change.
But the cheap efficiency of wooden framing and the necessity of moving to advance one's career are hard lures to resist, especially when everyone else is doing it.
So I suppose you can really just blame it on trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, how many times did you move in your life? Let me see, how many times did I move? I didn't move that much. I probably moved like 4 times. 4. Yeah. I don't think I moved that. I mean, 4 might be a lot to some people, but yeah. Wow. I'm still stuck in the fact that the glue is more stronger than the nail. I gotta look into that. Maybe I must misheard what she said. I'll probably have to watch the video again, but that is crazy. So comment below, let me know how you feel about this one. I'm curious to read the comments. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? I'll definitely do more of these type of videos. And check my other videos that I have. Of course, you might see I have a lot of videos. But I'll see you later. Take care.